So we had a bunch of rain that took down most of a tree at my house. I'm out here loading out giant sticks and thinking about storms. I love preachers who talk about a God who can make storms disappear. But Jesus did three really specific things in the middle of storms. First, he silenced them. We all know that story, right? Jesus is asleep at the back of the boat. The disciples are freaking out. So, don't you even care we're about to die? Jesus, I'm guessing, like, still having to, like, peel his eyes open from sleep. Stands at the front of the boat, says, "Peace, be still." And that storm went from raging, screaming, to silent, still waters. Jesus can silence a storm, which is always really positive and affirming to me when I'm in the middle of a storm in my life. I don't know how many times I've prayed, especially in the last couple of years, God, would you just silence this storm? But there were a couple other things he did. One time his disciples were in the boat and he wasn't anywhere to be found. All of a sudden they see this crazy ghost walking on the water. And there was Jesus standing on it, standing on the water, calling out to his disciples to come out to him. He didn't silence this one. He stood on that storm. I want to tell you something that sounds kind of preacherish, but I'm living it right now. The storm that you weather today will be the storm that you stand on in your next season. God is teaching you things. Hey, buddy. God is teaching you things in this season, through this storm, that you're going to use to stand on in his presence in your next season, if you're willing to get out of the boat. But that's a whole other reel. You know, Jesus lived on the Sea of Galilee. Pretty much the majority of his ministry took place, and he's constantly crossing this giant sea. And sometimes the storm would come up and he would silence it. And sometimes the storm would come up and he would stand right on top of it. But sometimes he would just sail through it. Sail right on through the storm. Keep rowing, keep working, head down, no miraculous relief. But Jesus had human tenacity too. And sometimes we need to take a message there. You've been praying for a miraculous silencing. You've been praying for the ability to stand on that storm. That's good. Even Jesus himself sometimes just had to sail on by. The beautiful thing about a storm is it might take off that limb right there. There's something else that's going to grow out of it.